Welcome to today's episode. For those who have not met us before, my name is Fran Loebscher, and with me is Adrian Lundeen and Kat Krasilnikov. And if you haven't met us before, we are three of the founders of Beach Boss Influencers, and we teach network marketers and entrepreneurs how to scale their businesses and how to make more money in less time using automation systems and processes so that you actually start having fun in your business, start enjoying your business, and you can stop chasing, doing all the salesy, weird stuff that you probably hate doing. Today's episode is kind of a juicy one. And I don't know if you have ever. Let me ask you a question first. Do you feel like you are doing all the things, you are following all the rules, you're doing everything that everyone says you should be doing, whatever your business is, and nothing seems to be working? You're thinking, well, should I just throw in the towel? Like, this is never going to work? Should I just throw in the towel? Should I listen to all the naysayers and think, okay, well, what they said is probably true, and this was a silly idea, and I should go back to my 9 to 5 or go back to doing what, maybe I trained to do. Maybe I should go back to dentistry, And I don't know if you know this. A pineapple plant takes 18 months to produce one pineapple. It will take another up to 1 year to produce a second pineapple. And then after that, the plant no longer produces any more pineapples. And this was like a moment for me. I had no idea. You go to the supermarket and you see these mountains of pineapples, and you're thinking, how many plants has it taken to produce this mountain of pineapples that are no longer producing pineapples? Okay. And so if you're thinking, maybe you have a plant, you get a plant and you get a pineapple plant, you're given a pineapple plant and you water it and you water and you water it. And you have no idea it's going to take 18 months for it to produce its first pineapple. And so you water it and you feed it and you do all the things that you think you're supposed to do. And after a month, you're thinking, well, damn it, there's no pineapple. I'm chucking this one out. It's a dud. And I'm going to go and get a different plant. It's not working. It's just not ready yet. And so your business may not be working yet, or you may think it's not working yet. But
you're growing a pineapple.
You're growing a pineapple. You are growing a pineapple. It's the same as bamboo.
Which to my mind, like you're growing a human. It's like when you're pregnant and you can't see it yet, right? And you don't quite, the test is positive, but you kind of don't believe it's actually.
You haven't felt anything yet. Move around in there.
And like cells, it become 4 cells, it become 8 cells.
It's the size of, I don't know what, a grain. And you're like, is it really there, right? It's kind of like, same like you're growing a human. It's there. You just have to wait 9 months to see it.
Yeah. But and so often, like we think, okay, well, nothing's working. I'm growing this business, but nothing's working. But actually, what is working? And have a look at what is working and have a look at the growth that you've been through. And so often, and Adrian talks about this a lot, and Adrian, you can dig into this, because so often we are in the gap and not in the gain. We are looking at, well, I haven't made my million yet. I haven't even made 10,000 yet. I don't have, all the money in my bank account. I don't have the dream life, and I've been doing it, and I've been doing everything that they said I should do for how many months now, and it hasn't happened yet.
Totally.
Let us know if you can relate to this.
And you
go and
forget
go ahead,
the
Kat.
pineapple. I'm gonna go buy the orange tree. Let's take the tulip. Let's go buy orange tree. Maybe it will come the next day or in the next week, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I'll say this, like to like, help your psyche for the network marketers out there, like to your defense, so that you're not beating yourself up. I also think that we're sold on an expectation in this industry that you're going to come in and in 90 days, you're going to earn your car and you're going to, run rank up all the things and you're going to be a six-figure earner. And we've been planted that in our head, from uplines, from leaders, right? It's so simple, well, just talk to more people. And so we adopt that, that's ingrained in us. And so it's just that we don't have the proper expectation, right? You think that people start up a company and in 3 months, 6 months, an actual business, to become established and be in profit, a real business takes up to 5 years, So I think it's what is understanding that as an industry, that expectation is not real. It's a false, whatever was promised, and that's just not the real expectation. So with that said, give yourself some grace and, realize that it is a work in progress. You're planting that pineapple, which now we know it takes 18 months and you can only grow 2 of them on one tree. I'm just over here what in the hell? I was just thinking
throwing a pineapple away. How many times you bought it for $3.99? It's set on your counter for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you throw it away because it smells funky.
Yeah.
Every game.
I mean, I would love to know because I've done the same too. And he's like, here's this pineapple. This
Never
pineapple
thrown pineapple away.
is an incredible plant. I mean, how amazing is that? Huh?
Yeah. I want to get back to network marketing industry. When Adrian was talking, something came to my mind about expectations. I saw an ad once where some credible network marketing leader was telling that this is how you can recruit 10 new people in 10 days. And I was very intrigued by that. I know it is possible if you've done the right work prior to your recruiting frenzy. And I decided to listen to, I think it was a YouTube video, a podcast, how it can be done. I want to know other people's strategies, right? So, and when I listened, what was taken out of the context, how to recruit 10 people in 10 days, you have to work 90 days prior to those 10 recruiting frenzy days to find the right people and build relationships. So if you did that work for 90 days, every single day consistently, you can definitely shrink that process into 30 days or something like this. However, how good you are at building relationships and influencing people. And then when you start the 10-day recruiting challenge or whatever you call it, you are going to recruit more than 10 people because you did the work prior to that. You were watering your pineapple. But it's very misleading to tell a brand new person that you can recruit 10 brand new people in 10 days. I mean, it is possible, but it's not the norm. It's not realistic. So if you hear claims like this, know that there's always some prior work that was done, the work that's going to build you the right audience, grow your influence over that audience. So when you go into the promo mode, whatever we call it, right? The recruiting mode, you have hot people who know you, like you, and trust you. And then it's easy. But if you have no audience, no influence, no recruiting skills, and you expect you're going to go and recruit 10 people in 10 days, maybe it's your mom, your sister, your neighbor, and 3 of your dogs.
My dog was definitely a customer of mine.
Yeah. I had a cockatiel at that time. It was a customer of mine or even a team member. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Or both. Done it. Yeah. So definitely you need to nurture your pineapple before you can eat it.
Yeah.
And if you throw it away before, or you give up on it before it's time to harvest, right? You're just going to go and spend another 90 days, 6 months, however, nurturing another plant, growing another plant. And okay, this one is not good. It takes too long. Let's go get an orange. Or orange also takes 5 years. I don't really know how long orange takes. I actually have a lemon tree in my house. It's been there for 3 years. No freaking lemons.
Oh,
3 years.
I
was
think
like,
that might be like a soil problem.
I know.
I don't
It
know.
wasn't watered enough. It likes water, but I'm like once every 2 weeks when it's kind of like already almost dead. I'm like, here's your water.
It's time to save it again. Time to
Yes.
save it.
I'm like, okay, sorry. Here's your water.
I think it's like avocado, that the avocado tree that takes like a long time or something.
Well, and it's got to
Something.
have the, if it's a female tree, it's got to have the male tree next
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got to have the right, foundation. You've got to have, the right people. Okay. So if it's a male tree, you've got to have the female tree. So you've got to have the right people around it. Okay. And they need to like each other to make avocados.
That's
Yeah.
good.
You know, whatever analogy you look at, if you don't give it the time, if you don't give your business the time and trust, if you have the right process in place, in other words, like as Kat was saying, having people who are actually looking for your business, people who are looking for your products, and not speaking to anyone and everyone, your mom, your cat, your dog, your neighbor, and actually have genuine relationships with those people. You're never ever ever going to get that pineapple. You're never ever going to get the growth that you want the way that you want it to happen. You may end up with a booming business if you have pots of money in your bank account, so that you can actually have a not-for-profit business, and you're just ordering, cupboard
For your
fulls
dog, for your
of product.
for your cat. You
You know,
order
so
for
you-
all of them.
Yeah,
You spend
you have
$1,000 to make $50 commission.
Yeah. Well, I think, Kat made a great point, is like, just because it's not visible, like, doesn't mean it's not happening, right? Like, when you're talking about like, oh, you find out you're pregnant, like, there's nothing that happens in the first however many months, but you are, right? You're growing
You
a
believe you
human,
are.
and like in our culture, especially now, where it's like instant gratification, instant 6-figure business, like instant leads, like, the overnight success stories, like, it's not, I mean, true nature, right? True creation, it moves differently. It builds quietly, right? Like, and so again, like, just because you don't see something, it's not visible, doesn't mean it's not happening. And, where like, so I would say, like, where are you in your life? Like, where are you judging your progress based on what you can and can't see? Because like, how many maybe dreams have you walked away from because they didn't bloom fast enough, right? Like, and it reminds me, like, I have this like GIF, whatever, a GIF moves, a meme is still, whatever, they're all the same to me. But it's like this guy that's in a cave and we can see the outside, and he's been digging and chiseling at it, and he's right at the very end from cracking through and walks away. Like, so how many of y'all have been right there, but you didn't know it? You didn't know it, right? Because you couldn't actually see it and you just walked away. But like, what if you're just actually in your pineapple moment? You're in your 18-month pineapple window,
Yeah.
Like,
So, like the pineapple farmer knows how this plant is going to grow. He knows, where it's at, and okay, look, this pineapple is coming. This pineapple is coming. He's going to celebrate it. He's feeding it. He's giving it everything that it needs in order to produce an incredible pineapple. And as you are growing your business, are you feeding your soul, feeding your mind to make sure that you stay on track? Because if you are not recognizing that you are growing, if you're not recognizing that actually the steps that you're taking are moving you closer and closer and closer to that goal, closer and closer and closer to the win, to the big win. If you're not recognizing that and realizing where you are, it's too easy. It's very easy to just give up. celebrating the wins is key. So the farmer will be celebrating the wins because it'll see the leaf come up, it'll see another leaf come up, it'll see, it'll recognize the growth that is happening in the pineapple plant. And are you recognizing and celebrating every single win that happens along the process, even if it is, I have a new follower, even if it is, I did my first live video and I had 5 people watch. I did another live video and I had 10 people watch. I got comments on my live video. I got, celebrating the little wins along the way, because actually those little wins are big wins.
Well, the truth is most network marketers, I'm going to say probably 90%, and this was me at the time, right? Years ago. No, all we focus on is the negative.
Yeah.
Right? What's not working. And the negative is always what stands out, because we are so married to the result.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at somebody's thoughts, and you have like about 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and of those thoughts, 90% are negative. So it's very easy to focus on the negative.
Yeah.
And it can be hard if you got sold this dream that you're going to recruit 10 people in 10 days, or you got sold this dream that you're going to be a diamond whatever, or you're going to get your car next month. In a month you can easily earn your car and be earning 6 figures and retire your job and retire your husband and spend all the time with your kids, and it didn't happen. Okay. What was I going to say? It's gone.
Well, people also
Where was I going with that?
share on social media, even inside the teams, only their achievements. Like, oh, I have a brand new customer today. Let's celebrate. And then another person shares similar thing, and another, and you see all these people getting results, and you're like, what's wrong with me, right? But you didn't know that this person maybe talked to 50 people before they got this one customer, right? They don't share the hard part. They don't share how they got there. They don't share how long it took them to build a network, to even get their first sale. So when you start comparing yourself and see all the success that other people are having, it's very easy to look at the negative and compare and think that you're just not good enough. But you might be doing better than those people who are already popping the pineapples because maybe you're doing it faster. You just don't know it, right? Because like Fran said, how many times we just kill that pineapple too soon because there's nothing, looks like there's nothing happening, and we go move on to something else. We call it shiny object syndrome, and it's very easy for a human mind to give up and go move on to something new. But the thing is, when you give up and move on to something new, the first 3 to 6 months or even 18 months with the pineapple story, this is the hardest part of any business. That requires a lot of energy, a lot of time to get things into motion. And if you keep giving up and starting over, keep giving up and starting over, you spend constantly so much time and energy to just move that boulder up the hill, and it's the hardest time of all. And yeah, you're like, I don't want to do it forever. Little that you were that close to push that boulder up on the hill, and it would have started like rolling and snowballing, but you didn't. You gave up and you moved to shinier boulder. That's also like at the bottom. So my point is, when you keep giving up and starting over, you're literally setting yourself back to square one, the hardest square, if you call it that way. And the key to success is to stay in the game, no matter how long it takes. Because if you're doing the work, if you're planting your seeds and watering it, it's guaranteed that it's gonna sprout and it's gonna bloom and it's gonna produce the fruit.
Yeah.
But because you left, or you stopped watering, or you got an orange tree instead of pineapple or lemon in my case, you set yourself back, and you might be doing it over and over and over again. So bottom line, stop quitting. Literally, stop quitting, Stop starting over and keep nurturing what you planted a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and you will see the results.
Yeah, we call that the until, right? Beaches.
Yeah.
Like when we get asked, well, how long do I do? Well, how long, when will this work? How long? Until.
Yeah.
Until.
And if you commit to it, I've often used the analogy of, are you just going to dip a toe in and think, okay, well, I'll just see if it's going to work, or are you going to go all in? You go all in. Like if you're gonna if this is your path, you go all in, and you figure it out and you stick with it until. If you go back to a baby doesn't think, okay, well, it's time. I want to walk. I want to crawl. And I want to walk, and it falls. And how many times does it fall before it actually takes a few steps, and then falls again, and then it gets up and takes a few more steps, and then it falls again. Carries on until it's walking and then running, and then
I don't know what happens like when we go through the shoot, the birth canal and end up in network marketing, but when we're birthed in there, it's like our brains forget that like everything else in life, right? Like you want to lose weight, you want to build muscle, right? You want to do X, Y, and Z. You can't just decide I'm going to show up once a week. Like, oh, I'm going to eat healthy on Mondays, but then I'm not on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to go to the gym on a Tuesday, like, and expect to have a result, right? Like, so it's like you have to show up daily and be consistent because your efforts, it's a compound effect, y'all. Network marketing is all a compound effect of simple daily actions. We're not saying dedicate your whole day every day to a whole laundry list of tasks. That's not what it takes. If you just show up and do 3 things every single day, right? A little bit of things or whatever those things are, every single day, just a little bit, it starts to build and compact on each other. And that's what leads to the burst of followers, the burst of engagement, the burst of people reaching out to you, the burst of name it, your result follows. So it's like somewhere along the lines of when we went through the canal and I was like, hey, mommy, daddy upline that I was birthed into, we forgot that. Like, I don't know what happens to us humans, but we forget all about that process once we jump over and we're like fired up about building this thing. And we want y'all to be fired up. It's exciting. The vehicle is exciting. But like Kat and Fran are saying is you just got to show up a little bit each day and show up until you show up until. And I'm telling you though, once you've built it, right? I'm not saying you walk away, but you don't have to do all the things every single day. You can start tailoring back, right? Like, you can, same with like a nutrition plan, same with like, once you've gotten to a certain point and you've dropped some inches and you've whatever, you can start like modifying certain things as long as you are measuring that you're still staying within your range of where you want to be, right? It's no different. So, but definitely it is not a hustle harder, like, sacrifice your life and your friends and your family. It is just show up, simple little things, but it compounds on each other. And when it does, y'all, it's going to be incredible.
So how are you going to show up tomorrow? Are you going to show up with joy, with excitement? Because that pineapple is going to bloom. Let us know. Let us know what your biggest takeaway has been from today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been fun, especially when I lost my
I mean,
mind.
Fran did say it was going to be juicy. No pineapple intended. Oh.
And we will see you next time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Have an awesome day, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.